Yo guys, Punkrat, another groggy morning video. Just woke up. I wanted to make a video on this specific topic last night, but I was just super tired, so I figured I'd just leave it for the morning. A lot of you guys know, it's been making the rounds. People are aware of what's been going on. I think it's, as the title says right here, it's a critical layering exploit, and in general, I really want to talk about layering once again. I know every time I talk about it, the dislikes come in droves, but once again, this is my take, and whether or not you agree with it, I just have a different perspective than you, I guess. So, if you guys don't understand what's happening, people have been finding out that you're actually able to switch layers within a dungeon, and it'll basically switch you onto a different layer within that dungeon ID, essentially. So, I guess it'll switch you to another dungeon ID, and you can just straight up be in front of a boss and respawn a new version of that boss and pretty much endlessly farm the same boss over and over again without resetting the dungeon. So the video that's been flying all over the place is actually from Scarm Tank, so let's just watch it really quick just so you guys can get a visual representation or understanding of what I'm talking about. So he's in the dungeon right here.
See if it layers.
He gets he got invited to another group, I guess, or something, and then it's saying he's gonna get teleported out. But the teleport doesn't go through.
This is exactly how it worked for me earlier. I did this and the boss respawned. Yeah, see, I think he's...
Boom.
Yep. Really?
So, there you have it, guys. You're able to respawn the same boss over and over again. Now, he's just farming the Crowd Pummeler. Who cares? But imagine doing this on General Dracasath, on Ras Frostwhisper, on Baron Rivendare, on Balnazar, on bosses that drop either patterns like True Faith Vestments, or recipes like Supreme Power, Flask of the Titans, things like that. Things that are, some of the most important recipes in the entire game. Layering is severely affecting the economy. This post right here, you'll see it says this was the first one that blew up, and Asmongold reacted to it on his stream. The actual post got deleted, so I can't link it, but I did just recover it from the video. All right, so let's read the post really quick. It says, already got my pre-raid BIS, and my guild has made about 100,000 gold off of it. Since posts like these are already popping up and it's getting extremely boring / repetitive, I thought I'd make a post here about it. So it says, step 1, get to the end of Strat Live, Dead Side, Skolo, or Ren's Room, whatever you want. Drop group 1 at a time and get layered. Instead of being ported out, you get layered. Step 4, kill boss again. Step 5, go to another layer or back to the first layer. So he's saying you only need 2 layers, and I guess you can keep going back and forth. Step 6, camp and reset if boss is dead on a new layer. Camp resetting does not put you back at the entrance, but right where you were. So that's exactly what it is. You're just staying in the same spot. It's already all clear, and you keep going back and forth, killing bosses. Step 7, go back to step 4. Get full pre-raid BIS and littered in boss rare loot, i.e. True Faith Vestments, Fell Striker, etc. Pretty broken OP, already rich, and if I have to kill Balnazar 200 times a day for the next 2 weeks, I may just quit. So what you do with the info, hopefully it gets fixed soon. I'd also be okay with getting punished, i.e. my 10k gold removed and temp banned. He might get permabanned, so he's playing in, some hot water there. The game isn't going to be so much fun if I have so much gold and I host GDKP runs and I just buy every single item for months. So as you can see, people are getting really, really rich off of this stuff. Now, I really want to tie this in again to the economy, because, yeah, it sucks that one person is exploiting, or a guild is exploiting, or you have a group of people in general that are exploiting. That sucks, because they're getting way ahead of everyone else. But that's not the problem with layering. Layering goes a lot deeper than that. It's affecting the economy as a whole, and the main reason is just supply. On a vanilla server, there's supposed to be rare items. There's supposed to be rare recipes, all kinds of things that are highly contested and highly camped. That's just not happening. Like Arcanite Rod, Ruined Arcanite Rod, which is something that I mentioned in one of my videos in the past. I went over today and I just got it, or yesterday I went over, I just got it, and then I was like, oh, maybe I can sell this on the auction house for more. I go to the auction house, it's selling for less there than it is at the actual vendor. So people are just having full access to everything. There's no competition really for anything. A lot of items that are supposed to be difficult to get are just No problem. Like I heard someone talking, I think it was Tips Out in his video that he made about this, talking about how cheap free action potions are and how I guess how cheap the recipe is. I'm not exactly sure which one he was referring to, but there's just too much of everything available, and that's not the way vanilla is supposed to play out. I know there's a streamer on YouTube who's been, using layering, and he has like, I think 35 Black Lotus or something right now. And that's just a guy who streams on YouTube. He said that he has a job, so he's not going super freaking hard on it. And he's got 35 Black Lotuses at the start of a classic launch. Like that's crazy. You can imagine how a guild who's making a collective effort to do that since day one, who hit 60 way faster than everybody else, how many Black Lotuses they could potentially have. I heard some guy on a Reddit post saying he had 60 Black Lotuses, and this was like a week and a half ago. Or a week ago. Imagine how many he has right now. Like, this stuff is game breaking. It's really hurting, the ecosystem of the game, especially because, people might be thinking, oh yeah, well, whatever, it's good to have extra, extra mats going around, extra recipes. But what's going to happen is you're going to have all these people that are going to profit right now during layering, and then once layering removes, it's going to go back to the way it's supposed to be, and then all of those people are going to have maybe, hordes, or they're going to hoard a large amount of all of this stuff that's going to become super rare once layering is gone, and they're going to have a massive advantage over everybody else. Whether it comes to progress, whether it comes to gold, whatever it is, they're going to have stockpiles of things that are going to become really, really difficult to get in the later phases once layering has been entirely removed. So I just think it's, there's so many things that are kind of messed up, and I don't want to sound like I don't know, I don't want to trigger any of you guys, but it really feels to me like Blizzard has messed up a whole lot. They messed up raid XP, which is massive and is the reason why people got to 60 so fast in such massive groups. That was obvious. Like, I'd been saying on my stream for like pretty much the entire week, like, you're not supposed to get that much XP within a raid. That doesn't make sense. Like, I remember in vanilla, when you joined a big raid, you'd get like absolutely nothing when killing mobs. The next thing is Demoralizing Shout. Demoralizing Shout was pulling way too much threat. Again, this is something that I've been saying in my stream forever. Back in the old days, you had to tab Sunder every single target in order to AoE tank. Now people were, before they hotfix it, just spamming Demoralizing Shout over and over and over again. Mages weren't even pulling aggro over with their Blizzard ticks. That's crazy. And the next thing, now that we're finding out, is that people are abusing layering within raids. Like, these are game-breaking, exploits or errors that Blizzard made that just really are having a massive effect on the launch of Classic WoW. And I mean, that's just brutal. I mean, I've been saying pretty much forever that I'd rather a messy launch than whatever, unforeseen consequences layering is going to bring. And it seems as though that's really coming into effect here. It's all coming to fruition. A lot of you people who, complain, oh, the Punkrat, I don't want to have to fight over a quest mob. Yeah, sure, but what's worse, fighting over a quest mob or all of the stuff that's happening right now with the economy? People getting absolutely rich and being able to dominate an entire server just through gold, running DKP runs and being able to buy everything, or just ruining in general, the lucrative nature behind specific items. Like, I feel as though I'd rather compete for a quest mob. So I have these two forum posts here, and you'll see basically this guy's talking about exactly what we were looking at earlier. And he says there's also a fairly well-known exploit site, so a website where they talk about exploits, maybe it's like OwnCore or whatever, that's posted about this particular exploit nearly a week and a half ago. And then, so a week and a half ago, people have been, communicating about this one and spreading it. And then now we have this that came out yesterday. So again, it's super slow to react. People were doing the dungeon farming and raids for over a week, and then Blizzard makes the change. People are using Demoralizing Shout for like 2 weeks, and then Blizzard makes the change. And then people are using the layer exploit, and then Blizzard makes the change a week and a half later. So, if you guys saw what happened on Esfon's stream a while ago, I think it was the first week that they did Molten Core. They actually were able to clear an entire Molten Core, and then they were able to do it again after they like reformed the group trying to get to Ragnaros or something. Or they didn't full clear. I guess they didn't kill Ragnaros. And then they spoke to a GM, and the GM gave them permission to re-clear the entire MC. Now, this should have been like a huge red flag for Blizzard. They didn't figure it out after that, what was happening. The community figured it out, but Blizzard didn't seem to figure it out. So they're really slow to react on these sort of things. And I just hope it gets better, because, and I hope that they can do something to rectify this. I think layering maybe needs to be fixed in a certain way to not affect endgame. It's affecting endgame too much. It makes sense in the early zones. Again, something that I've been saying forever, layering makes sense in the early zones, but the way that it's affecting endgame is starting to get a bit too much. Not talking about PvP or any of that, because I know you guys get super triggered about that, but just the way that it's affecting mats, the way that it's affecting recipes, rare vendor recipes, all of that stuff is really starting to get annoying. So hopefully they can fix the endgame effects. Hopefully they can start, banning and, punishing people who have been abusing the system for as long as they've been abusing it. And hopefully we can somehow see some, and hopefully we can see a positive outcome here at the end, because this is kind of, I don't know, it's getting a bit heavy right now. I've been complaining about layering for a long time, and I'm still not satisfied. So that's all I got to say for this one. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe. Of course, you know the drill, soldiers. And that's pretty much it. See you on the next one. Peace.